Hey, so real quick, I was in Luke chapter 23 this morning, and God took verses 6 through 12 and smacked me in the head with it. So I figured I wanted to just share it with y'all. So at this point, Jesus has been sent to Pilate. You know what I'm saying? He's basically been arrested for nothing. He's been accused of nothing. But the people were calling for Pilate to, like, you know what I'm saying, really, really handbro the big L, the capital L. And the whole time Pilate is like I'm not really on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I get it. I know what the crowd want, but I still kind of got to be a judge, and I kind of got to uphold the law. And y'all ain't saying this dude did anything for real. He claiming to be the son of God, but like, he ain't really say that. He said, I said it. And technically, I did say what he said I said when I said it, but I mean, he ain't say it, so, you can't really say that he said it. And Pilate was looking for any loophole to just get himself out. He wasn't trying to stop it, but he wasn't trying to be responsible for it. So he decided, hold up, ain't this dude a Galilean? Man, that ain't even my jurisdiction, bro. Y'all got to send him over to Herod. Yeah, man, I was, listen, I was about to do it. I about to do it to bro, you know what I'm saying? But since he ain't, you know what I'm saying, he's not in my jurisdiction, bro, I gotta, we gotta uphold protocol, you know what I'm saying, standards and practices. I respect them. I gotta send him to the homie Herod. Now, Herod was actually eager to see Jesus for all the wrong reasons. Herod was like, I've heard about this dude. He's been performing miracles all over. Everybody's talking about him. I like magic. I want to see some miracles. And by this point, Jesus was like, I'm not answering no more of y'all questions. Like, y'all done said what y'all done said. Y'all done accused me of what you done accused me of. God's will has to be done over this moment, over my life. So I'm not doing it no more for y'all. And he knew what Herod was on when he got sent over to him. Herod was like, yo, hey man, so look here, I know what they saying, I gotta do to you, but you can maybe, turn some water into wine, or walk on it, or walk on some wine and then turn it to water or whatever, maybe we can work something out. And because Jesus wasn't entertaining it, Herod went from wanting to see a miracle from him to insulting him. And this made me think about a couple of things. Number one, Herod was the person that Pilate thought, this is the guy to go to do this. This is foul, and I know it's foul. Who would be a good person for me to send this dude to pull this off? Because I don't want to be the one to do it, but I don't want the people to think that I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's wrong, but I know the people in my position. I got to honor my station. You feel me? And so he sent him the plug on, in his mind, the source for this kind of evil. And it made me think about, what are you in your life? What am I in my life the source for? What have I been the source for? Because, we all know the people in our life, and we've all had the people in our life, because none of us are perfect, that we go to for our sin. You know that person that you go to when it's like, it's time to go out, it's time to turn up, you trying to really get lit, you trying to really get sauced, like when you're trying to drink to excess and get high as you can, you feel me, and go out and get some girls or see some guys or whatever you're trying to do, you trying to go to the club, you know who you call. That's your source. That's the source for that. Or, you know who you call when you mad, but you want to get madder. You know what I'm saying? You know the person that you call when you angry about something, but you don't want to be talked down. You don't want to be talked out of it. I'm about to slap you, and I don't want nobody to convince me not to slap you. On the contrary, I want somebody to convince me to put hands and feet on you. You know who to call. Everybody got that cousin, that brother, that friend that you call when it's time for all the shenanigans. And it's like, that's that source for that. You got your source for drama, your source for sin, your source for shame, your source for depression. And I thought about, have I ever been the source for that for other people? Yup. I was the source for when it was time to roast somebody. I was the, oh, I gotta get him. When it was time to turn up and get angry and spaz on somebody or go off on somebody or check somebody, it's gotta get him. And it took me years to realize what I've become the source for so many people. From jobs to friendships to everything else. I was the source for the negativity. I was the source for some anger, some depression, some frustration, some going off. It was mostly anger. And like Herod was supposed to be the source for Jesus's unjust punishment. But Herod was looking for his own source. He just didn't realize it. I mean, we all know what Jesus was, but Herod was looking for like proof. He was looking for proof that there was something outside of what he already knew, a miracle worker. And we all know that Jesus was more than what Herod was making him out to, basically being a magician, boiling him down to just the miracles that he performed, not the Messiah that he was. And so in that moment, Jesus knew, I can't give you what you want. Because it's not what you need. And it's not what the people need to see. The people would have seen Jesus performing for Herod. The people would have seen Jesus being on command, like everything else in the time. And that would have just boiled Jesus down to just being a performer. That would have put Jesus, who was God's representation on earth, that would have put him at the same level as these man-made things that already existed. And Jesus knew he couldn't do that. And it really makes me think, like, we got to be mindful of what we're the source for. Like, I want to be the source for, you know what I'm saying, the fruit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control, faithfulness, you know what I'm saying, gentleness. I'm sure I missed one. But I want to be the source for the fruit of the Spirit. I know I'm not. And I know that on some level, I'm probably still the source for what I used to be the source for. But we really got to be mindful. What are you the source for? Whose source are you? And how often do they reach out to you? And have they ever been surprised? Have they ever came to you and been like, hey, man, I need you to help me cuss out such and such. Or, hey, man, let me tell you about what happened. Woo, woo, woo. And you hit them with some surprise wisdom. And they're like, man, I don't even like you when you are mature. Why you growing? Why you evolving? Ugh. You ever get that? If you do, you know you're doing the right thing. Because once you join with him, the world gonna hate you anyway.